Hey, what's good? Coach Colin Castelli here, and today I'm going to teach you Trae Young's secrets to deep range shooting. All right, so we're here at NBA Summer League, and today what I really want to do is teach you some of the mechanics that Trae Young uses to hit shots from so far out. So the very first thing I want to talk about is a leg drift. Now, this is something that very few coaches are actually talking about. It's actually the secret to why or how Trae can hit a lot of shots the further out he goes. And basically what we're talking about a leg drift is as he's getting ready to shoot, his hips are actually going to rotate slightly, and he's going to come through landed with his feet tilted further than what they started with. Now, what you'll see is a lot of the times you get this leg drift if he's pulling up off the dribble, especially going to his right-hand side, you're going to see it a lot more. So you're going to notice in a lot of his highlights, when he lands on his shot, he has a tendency to land on one foot with his right leg slung across. That's that leg drift coming across the center line of the body, and it actually is good to generate power through your body and into your basketball. Now, the big thing is a lot of coaches are gonna say, hey, that's a fadeaway or you're off balance, and really that's not the case. If we slow down the footage of Trae Young shooting, as he's getting ready to shoot, you'll notice that when we pause the footage at the ball at his set point, he is still nice and straight up and down and on balance. It's only after as the shot comes through, his leg's gonna release through, and then that's where you get the leg drift, right? So a lot of times people see the ending of it and they say like, hey, he's off balance, that's terrible, you know, it's fadeaway, whatever, and they lose their mind. But actually, it's not. As he's releasing the ball, everything's straight, and it's just that momentum that's coming through his body after the shot's released. So one thing to keep in mind, one thing to try, especially if you're shooting going off to your right-hand side. And the reason why this is so important is if I'm pulling up going to my dominant hand or my right hand going to the side, if I can't get my feet turned to start, and they start a little bit more square, that tension's gonna come into my shoulder and somehow I've gotta release it, right? Otherwise the shot's gonna be a little flat or my elbow's gonna go out. So if you notice with Trae, as he's coming through, he rotates those hips through, his feet follow, and that allows that tension to come out of his shoulder. Nice smooth release. Give it a try and you'll probably notice you can increase your range 3-4 feet just by trying it like that. So the next thing you really notice on Trae's jump shot is that he has a low set point, meaning as he's getting ready to shoot, he doesn't put the ball way above his head. He actually brings it down kind of below his eyebrow in this area right here as he releases it towards the basket. Now, a lot of players are told you have to get your set point up, you know, otherwise it's gonna get blocked, it's gonna get stripped, all that sort of stuff. But you notice that it doesn't really matter as long as you're doing it quickly on your shot, and as long as your shot preparation is fast. You know, Trae Young doesn't have a problem getting his shot off because number one, he can shoot with range, and number two, he gets his feet set really quick. So the reason why this low set point helps with his range and his power is because he can actually use that smooth shot to go with his body a little bit more, right? What we see from a lot of players that think that they have to get their set point up right here is the ball travels too high and then they don't have the arm muscle and power to get into it. You know, this is something that we teach a lot different than a lot of other shooting coaches because I think everybody's gonna be a little bit different. And if that means your set point has to be lower to get more power, then that's okay, right? We can work on foot speed and shot preparation to make sure that your shot's fast enough to get it off. Because if you look at Trae Young, he can get it off against anybody and his shot is lower. So what I want you to think about is number one, don't get, fall in love with the idea that you have to have a high set point like somebody like Kobe Bryant, right? You can bring it down and still be super, super effective and still be a really, really great shooter. So, if you feel like it's starting to get too high on you, try cranking it back down and see that it's gonna increase your range pretty fast. All right, so the next thing you notice about Trae's shot is his feet pop. Basically mean that whenever he's getting ready to shoot, his feet pop off the ground as if there's hot lava below him, right? The big mistake that a lot of players make when they're getting ready to shoot is they kind of take a slow gather and they really feel like they need to aim their shot. But if you look at the fastest and the best shooters, especially from deep range, most of the time they have a really fast pop with their feet. And so Trae's the exact same thing. You'll notice if it's coming out of a move like a step back, he's quickly firing off the ground. If he's catching off of the pass going into a shot, quickly firing into the ground. So always pretend like you've got hot lava under your feet as soon as you touch the ball and get that quick pop because that's what generates your momentum early in your body that travels through and into the basketball, right? Think about if I'm moving slow, all of a sudden I don't get any energy into my shot to begin with, so then I have to manufacture it myself later on. But if you watch Trae as he's getting ready to shoot, as soon as he's catching, he's manufacturing that energy like he's jumping off the end of a diving board and it springs all the way up through a shot. Now what's interesting about Trae is he uses a foot pop in any situation. He can be going a 1-2 step where he's coming in the shot and he's still popping that second foot, right? He can go off of a hop, pop them both at the same time. The idea is you want to drive those balls of your feet into the ground so they can fire straight back up. All right, if this video helped you out, go ahead and hit the like button and then hit the comment section down below and let me know what sort of video you want to see next. If you're new to shot mechanics, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you next time. Splash on.